welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
In the village, in the Bemba land, yeah. So a lot has been happening ever since the campaigns began. Now, strangely, the Electoral Commission of Zambia hasn't really officially launched the campaign period, but I mean the campaigns are already there. People are moving around campaigning, though you don't see that mood of campaigns. It's like people literally don't have menus to campaign. Yeah, so today I just woke up and watched a clip of President Hakainde Hichilema. I think he was signing a few bills today at State House. I didn't really follow whatever was going on there, but then I came across a clip where he was saying, I've heard that certain people want to come back to government. And then he says, what do they want to come and do? To continue with the distraction or whatever chaotic governance. And then he says, it goes ahead to say that they can come in a different form, a different maybe political party. They still remain the same. They can come, you can wear different shirts, you still be the same person. Literally, he meant people don't change. So now, it is shocking, yeah? It is shocking that President Hakainde Hichilema can come out like that. It reminds me when President Hakainde Hichilema was in opposition and the Patriotic Front was in power. President Hakainde Hichilema was laughing at the Patriotic Front for embracing members of MMD, like from a movement for multi-party democracy, but because he said the members from MMD were very corrupt individuals, and MMD was kicked out of power because of corruption. Yeah, there was a lot of corruption under the MMD regime, so they were kicked out of power. But a few of them were appointed under the Patriotic Front. Some of them became ministers and all that. Some of them became permanent secretaries and all those positions. So Hakainde Hichilema was very, he really criticized the Patriotic Front for embracing people from the MMD. But what did we see when he formed government? Actually, before even he formed government, he went into alliances with most of the MMD people. And then when he formed government, he appointed most of the people into ministerial positions were people from the MMD, the same MMD that he accused of corruption. And now, when Hakainde Hichilema forms government, he started calling the Patriotic Front all sorts of names. The past regime did this, they were corrupt, they were violent, they were thugs, they were all sorts of things. Basically, according to President Hakainde Hichilema, the Patriotic Front never did anything good when they were in government. It is even, they even claimed that the Patriotic Front left the coffers empty. But that isn't the truth. The records are there, and anyone can just check the records and clearly see that the Patriotic Front never left the coffers empty. Then they went further to state that the Patriotic Front left the dollar or the kwacha at 23. He argues that it was at 23, but it was never at 23. It was actually, I remember when in August, 12 August, the day of voting, the dollar was trading at around 16 kwacha. Yeah, I remember that vividly. So now he says all these things about, he's never said anything good about the Patriotic Front. And yet, most of the people that he works with are Patriotic Front members. If you take a look at the adoptions that the UPND have made, they have adopted Patriotic Front former members of parliament. Those are the people that the UPND have adopted. And then now the same UPND is in an alleged alliance with the Patriotic Front, or a branch of Patriotic Front, or a figmentation of the Patriotic Front that is led by Chabinga. Chabinga is a Patriotic Front person. And then now there are these other MPs that have been adopted who were Patriotic Front, or who are Patriotic Front, because those people have not resigned. Though when you apply on a different political party, you automatically resign from your party. So there are more than 9 MPs who've been adopted by the UPND. Yeah. And then now I'm asking myself, so all these Patriotic Front members who have joined UPND and they've actually been adopted, these are people who Hakainde Hichilema wants to work with, and yet he claims people don't change. If you were a Patriotic Front, you will remain Patriotic Front, and anything bad that comes with the Patriotic Front will go with you wherever you go. So why is President Hakainde Hichilema clinging or fighting so hard to get members from the Patriotic Front? It doesn't make sense, does it? There's something just doesn't add up. But anyway, regardless, whatever President Hakainde says, we see recycling of politicians, and these politicians, those are the people who have been in the UPND government, because UPND came into government with people who had no experience in governance issues, and that's just the reality, and that is why they struggled so hard to govern this country. Basically, it seems like President Hakainde Hichilema has been the alpha and omega of this government. These are his ministers, whatever. They've just literally been in the shadows of President Hakainde Hichilema. Anyway, I have a message for President Hakainde Hichilema. The opposition is coming back. Or whether it is the Patriotic Front that you're so obsessed with talking about, every time you have a platform to talk about whatever it is, you always have to drag in the Patriotic Front. The Patriotic Front. Well, under your government, the Patriotic Front has been reduced to nothing, and they're not even participating in this general elections, which is a very sad thing for our democracy, and we expected you to do better. But anyway, that is water under the bridge. But what we know, the Zambian people would decide on who will form government on 12th August 2026. The Zambian people have had a taste of your leadership, President Hakainde Hichilema, and they've had the taste of the leadership of the Patriotic Front, and they're able to make well-informed decisions on their own. They're able to do comparisons, and there's basically no one who can convince them to say the UPND is far much better than what the PF was. The PF had infrastructure development, they had all sorts of things. And when you compare it to the UPND regime, they're miles apart, sadly. No matter how much you can talk and all that, it's just, it's incomparable. The development that was under the Patriotic Front. You can brag about the CDF project that has been building just classroom blocks. I've not seen any universities. I've not seen any clinics. I've not seen any hospitals that have been built. I've literally not seen any roads that have been built under this regime. And the Lusaka Dollar Road is still struggling to even get halfway to completion. So the Zambian people have a choice, an independent choice. They have the right to decide, as they're able to tell, they're able to see, they're able to make comparisons how their lives were under the Patriotic Front and how their lives have been under the UPND regime. 13th August, the Zambian people will decide, regardless of whatever you say, President Hakainde Hichilema. Well, I end here.
Oh my goodness.